Welcome to Owen Talk Sports for our first Blue Jays weekly review on the channel. The Blue Jays played 6 games this week, so we're going to discuss them, how they went, some statistics, who's been hot, who's been not. First off, we'll go over the record. Jays currently, 21 and 25. They're only 1 game out of a playoff spot, so not far out of it at all. Definitely in the running for a potential playoff spot. They are, however, 9.5 games behind the division leaders. Last year, I think at one point they're like 11 or even more games behind the Yankees. So not out of it yet per se, but it would take another 2025-esque season for the Blue Jays to win this division. So let's get into covering how these past couple weeks went for the Blue Jays. My apologies there. I said these past couple weeks. I meant this past week. But getting started, the Blue Jays had a 3-game set against the Tampa Bay Rays in Toronto. It unfortunately did not go the Blue Jays' way. A 8-5 loss in the first game. Kevin Gausman picked up his 3rd loss of the year. Got absolutely torched by the Rays in that game. Good game for Andres Jimenez, who did hit 2 home runs, but does about all the offense the Blue Jays had. Then in game 2, unfortunately, the Rays ended up taking it 7-6. Braden Fisher picked up his first loss of the year. Fortunately for the Jays, once again, bats, they had 1 good inning in the 7th, and outside of that, they were cold once again. Jays ended up picking up a win. Dylan Cease, 7 absolute sublime innings against Tampa on Wednesday. Jeff Hoffman picked up the win in extra innings. Dalton Varsho launched a golf grand slam, and the Blue Jays ended up taking it 5-3. And some people are potentially calling it the turning point of the season. It's been the turning point of Dalton Varsho's season, as he did have a heck of a series in Detroit after that walk-off grand slam. Talking about the Detroit series, a 3-game set in the Motor City. Unfortunately, game 1 was a 3-2 loss. Jeff Hoffman ended up blowing the game, picking up his 3rd loss of the year. Andres Jimenez, 2-run double, so a productive week for Andres overall. Then on Saturday, ended up taking a 2-1 win over the Tigers. Louis Varland picked up the win. 2 nails innings to clear up that win for us. And Hendrik Panongo, his first career home run. Shout out to the Rook, who's been absolutely balling for the Jays. Finally today, 4-1 win for the Blue Jays. Kevin Gausman pitched a 6-inning gem. And then the bullpen smooth sailing from there. Vladdy finally got on the board with his 3rd home run of the season. Dalton Varsho adding a double and a triple to his catalog. And yeah, it was a fun week for the Blue Jays. Up next, we'll be talking about who's been hot and who was not this week. The Blue Jays went 3-3, and again, slowly trying to keep pace in the wild card race. So, getting started with who's hot and who's not, we'll talk about the hot side first. With our batter who was hot this week, we're going with Dalton Varsho, a 994 OPS, 6 hits, scored 3 runs, had a home run, a triple, couple doubles, and drove in 6 runs. Dalton Varsho absolutely immense in the Blue Jays couple wins they had this week. Obviously, the homer today, he had the triple, or sorry, not the homer today, the triple and double today. He had a double in another game. I think it was yesterday's game. Also had a game-winning single. Hit the walk-off grand slam against the Rays. Absolutely sublime how good Dalton Varsho was. If he keeps playing like this for the rest of the year, you have to pay Dalton Varsho as much money as he wants in free agency, and you got to keep him around. This guy, what he does with the glove and what he does with the bat, he's one of the top, I'd say, 10 center fielders in the sport. And I mean, if he keeps up how he's been playing this week for the rest of the year, could probably push into that top 5 category. For our starter of the week, went with Dylan Cease. Pitched a gem against the Rays, 7 elite innings, a 1.29 ERA in that start, a sub-1 whip, 9 strikeouts. For Dylan Cease, I mean, he just had a good start. That's how it kind of goes. Unless a guy has 2 really good starts, which the only pitcher who had 2 starts this week was Kevin Gausman, and he wasn't good in the first start at all. Was good today. Definitely helped him put him into consideration, but Dylan Cease's 1 start against Tampa definitely deserves it. As for a reliever of the week, went with Spencer Miles, 3.2 innings, no runs given up, under almost sub-1 whip, 5 strikeouts. Really good stuff for Spencer Miles. Been probably my personal favorite reliever behind Louis Varland this year. Just so electric and definitely worth the Rule 5 draft pick this week. Louis Varland was in consideration here as well. Absolutely nails week. He's an absolute nail gun. Arguably, he has been the best reliever in the sport this year. Um, yeah, but I just thought Spencer Miles was a little bit better this week, and that's why I gave it to him over Varland. As for who's not hot, we got George Springer, who went 2 for 20 this week with a 282 OPS, 5 strikeouts. Hasn't been George's season, dealing with injuries, just hasn't been overall that productive, and it shows. Got the day off today, or else his numbers might have been a little bit worse, but I'm pulling for George. His home run against the Mariners is still the greatest thing I've seen in my lifetime, and I wish this team got it done last year, so I wasn't here trying to, like, quote unquote turn on some of these players. But I love Springer, and I just wish he was his 2025 form, but it hasn't been like that to start this year. For the starter, Patrick Corbin, I don't think Corbin was bad against the Rays in this start. He wasn't particularly great. 4.1 innings, 6.23 ERA, had about a 2.5 whip, 1 strikeout. So wasn't elite in that start, but if that's the type of start he's giving you where he only gave up 3 runs, that's a fine start for Patrick Corbin if your offense is on. Unfortunately, the offense isn't on, and the other starters this week did perform. Kevin Gausman was in consideration until his start today, but his start today was really good, so Patrick Corbin will get the slight edge. Yeah, Jays, once their offense on, this start from Patrick Corbin probably would be a win. So it is what it is. Patrick Corbin, he wasn't terrible, wasn't great, but he was the worst starter, so that's why he gets the who's not section. For future videos, if there isn't really a bad starter, I might end up putting another hitter there. But I guess to test out, we just decided to go with a starter and Patrick Corbin. For reliever, Jeff Hoffman, 2.2 innings, over 10 ERA, over 2.5 whip. I love Hoffman. I think, or well, I don't love Hoffman. Actually quite the opposite, especially after he blew the World Series. I love the theory of what Jeff Hoffman could be. Fortunately, he hasn't been that. And yeah, I mean, his expected stats this year, at least, have been relatively good. He should be better than what he is, but just getting some unlucky moments. I thought walking McKinstry on Friday to get to Torkelson was a dumb decision that can't put on Jeff Hoffman. At the same time, he does need to do what he's getting paid a lot of money to do, get the outs when needed. It's just not been Jeff Hoffman's 10 years of Blue Jay. It's unfortunate. Luckily, Varland's been here to back him up. Spencer Miles has come out of nowhere, but he's even being more used as a starter now. Tyler Rogers has been great. Fluharty and Fisher expected stats have been great. Obviously, inflated with some runs given up recently. Tommy Nance, I guess, has been good. Joe Mantiply has been good. I mean, Yariel Rodriguez, with how he's looked in his couple appearances, could he be back and could he be an option? I don't know. Jeff Hoffman, he needs to start performing better, but I don't think it's all on him. I think his expected stats are way better than what his stats have actually been, and I think positive regression will come for Jeff Hoffman. He won't have as an inflated ERA as he does. And yeah, that's it for who's hot, who's not. Hopefully next week I can make a slide where nobody's not. Everyone's hot, and the Blue Jays are going on some crazy run. So, what's upcoming for the Blue Jays? They have 7 games next week, 4 against the Yankees, 3 against the Pirates. That's a huge 4-game set in the Bronx. This could potentially be the series the Jays need to get back into divisional race. If they can somehow take 3 out of 4 or even sweep the Yankees, it'd be absolutely incredible. That Wednesday game should be absolutely a fun matchup to watch. Cam Schlittler versus Trey Savage. Both teams' is top, like, young rookie pitchers, is going to be an elite matchup to watch. Other than that, it's just fun to see, hey, can our big guys keep it up with the Yankees? It'd be cool to see how Dylan Cease does against the Yankees. I mean, he's had home run issues in the past. The Yankees are the Bronx Bombers. Could it be a bad matchup? Maybe. Or could this new Dylan Cease you've been seeing absolutely destroy the Yankees? Who knows? We'll have to wait and see. Then we get a series with the Pirates. That Friday game, if I'm not mistaken, is going to be Kevin Gausman versus Paul Skeens. Absolute must-see TV there. 2 of the best pitchers in the sport. Obviously, Paul Skeens is the best pitcher in the sport. Kevin Gausman is very good. I do think there's a couple tiers separating them, but Kevin Gausman can still throw his name in the hat for being one of the top 15, 20 pitchers in the sport. And yeah, this could be a huge swing for the Jays. You played a divisional opponent who you owned last year. If that similar success returns, it potentially throws you right back into that playoff hunt. As for the Pirates, it's weird. They've been a good team this year, but it's still early to tell. Are they actually a good team? They've had years where they started off pretty good and then completely fell off. Is that one of those years? Who knows? It could be a good sign for the Blue Jays. If they go 4-3, 5-2, 6-1, they're putting themselves back in a position to be in the playoff race. The goal should be to go at least 4-3, 5-2, and I'd be happy. 6-1, I'm like extremely happy. 7-0, perfect. But 4-3 is where I'd be satisfied. This is it for our first Blue Jays review. I'm Owen from Owen Talk Sport. Let's hope the Blue Jays continue with some good times here after the series win in Detroit and can get back into a playoff spot in the American League.